What's up, guys? AverageKiwiGuy here. So I just got back from my second viewing of Rogue One. For those who don't know, I am seeing it for about 4 times in 4 days. So I went to the opening last night, and then I went again today with a group of friends. I'm going again tomorrow with another group of friends, and I'm going with my family on Saturday because it's my birthday on the Sunday, and my dad's is on the Saturday. So I'm gonna get to see this movie a lot, and I kind of wanted to do kind of a discussion sort of video, kind of a spoiler video. So, warning: this is full of spoilers. This will tell the story. This is if you should watch this if you have seen the movie and you kind of want to see if your ideas about it are kind of similar to my ideas, and maybe I can give you some insight or something like that on kind of what I think of it is. Or you aren't going to see the movie and you kind of want to know what it's about and you don't mind getting spoiled, have at it. But this is a spoiler video. I'll be talking about the story, I'll be talking about the characters, all of this stuff. So fair warning, turn the video off now. This is spoiler warning alert. We're spoiling everything, okay? Alright. So, what did I think of Rogue One as a whole? Rogue One is a fantastic movie. I loved it. How does it measure up against the others? I don't think you can measure it up against the others. Because it just doesn't have the backing of the main story that the others all do. It beats the prequels by far. But I think anything really beats the prequels by far. It really showed how to do the prequels, because this one, we didn't know anything about these characters. So they weren't protected. So, in the original prequels, 1, 2, and 3, we knew what was going to happen to Anakin. We knew that he was going to survive and turn into Darth Vader at some point. We knew that Obi-Wan was going to survive. We knew that Yoda was going to survive. We knew that Bail Organa was going to survive. We knew all these people were going to survive. But we knew the Jedi were going to get decimated somehow. We knew the Emperor was going to become, get in charge somehow. So we kind of knew Palpatine was him. So that was not really a big reveal when it happened. We knew it was going to happen. We knew these characters and we knew what was going to happen. In this movie, we don't. We know they're going to get the plans. We know they're going to win in that way and get them off, get them to Leia, and Leia's going to get them to, to R2 and then Luke, and then, New Hope happens. But we didn't know the main characters. We don't know these people. These people are all brand new, except for, say, Saw Gerrera, who's had a limited, thing about it. But we didn't know any of these people. We didn't know any of these planets. We didn't know anything. And it helped out a lot. Because, yes, we know the main plot and what's going to happen. But we don't know how they get there. We don't know what happens to them. And I think that was a great thing. So, how did I like that everyone dies? And everyone dies in Rogue One, essentially. All the people that aren't, say the big people, so obviously Darth Vader doesn't die, Tarkin doesn't die, all these people that we know are in the other ones don't die, because they're protected. But all of Rogue One, the team, dies. And I felt like, that's cool. I expected them all to die. I thought maybe 1 or 2 might get out. I thought Jyn might get out and they might expand her story later on and do something else there. But no, they were like, this all dies. They got wiped out by, they either got shot, exploded, or got wiped out by the Death Star. That was it. I was kind of hoping, because my original thought was like, oh, sweet, Darth Vader, he's going to come down to the planet, and he's going to start ripping everyone apart, and like, Donnie Yen's going to be going up, and then suddenly, whoosh, and then he's going to slice everyone up. And he did do that, in a very cool scene, which kind of showed the true power of Darth Vader in a very small amount of time. But he did it just normal troops. I wanted him to do it to Rogue One. I wanted to do it to those guys. but in a way, they did a war movie. So these guys are trying to do objectives, and they get them, and sometimes they gotta sacrifice themselves to get these objectives, and they all do. They all do, and they all sacrifice themselves, and they all die in ways that were okay. I was kind of hoping Chirrut would have a better dying than just getting exploded, but he kind of had his epic sort of force moment where the freaking these highly trained commando units can't hit him whatsoever. And it's like, oh, but the force is protecting him. The force is influencing the troopers so they can't shoot. So yeah, but then he gets exploded and that nullifies that. But yeah, so he was awesome. I loved Chirrut. Chirrut was really cool. He had a bit of, it was sort of like that old wise man sort of type thing, but he was a badass when he was fighting. Loved the scene with him in that sort of where the crashed X-wing was, where he just beats up all these guys. Boom, 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 boom. It's like, oh, how's your foot? Boom, 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 boom. And, you know, I loved it. It was really cool. And then Baze and him complement each other very well. And you can tell they're brothers. You can tell they've been together. I'm not saying actual brothers, but brothers in arms. Like, they've been together for a long time. And they were the protectors of the Kyber crystals on this planet. And they're lost. You know, they're lost. And it was cool to see them kind of get an opportunity to stick one back to the Empire. And I think they thought of it that way too. K2. Poor old K2. You know, he puts on like, you know, like, oh, I don't really care about these people, but he sacrifices himself. He gets shot to pieces and he's Swiss cheese basically. It's like, K2, no! You were so cool. He's kind of like a brave C-3PO. But he was cool. I loved K2 through the entire movie. I think he was a good sort of comedic break in places. He did the normal droid thing through Star Wars. Droids have always broken up the tension a little bit through and created some comedic relief in parts, and allows Star Wars to not take itself so seriously, which I think is the big thing. They don't take themselves seriously, and that's the point. You know, I think this is where, you know, the prequels kind of, you know, episode 1 went too far. You know, a kid blowing up a giant space station just by like, whoops, I pushed a button. Oh my god, we're doing barrel rolls. No. Then 2 and 3 got way too serious for what it was, and it got all political, and it was like this, they're trying to force this love story. No. This one was a good mix. It was like, yes, this is a serious thing. There's some dark stuff happening. The true power of the Empire has been shown. But we got a little bit of comedic relief with the robot. We got a little bit with Chirrut. We got, you know, there's little bits here and there, and it's good. But yeah, so K2 went down well. I think he went down real well. His sacrifice was cool. Sort of went out in a big blaze of glory sort of thing. I liked them. I liked them a lot. Then I guess Cassian and Jin. So they just got taken out by the Death Star. And it was cool to see the destruction of the Death, like the power of the Death Star on the ground. In these small isolated areas, both on Jeddah and on Scarif? I think Scarif is the way they say it. Just to see that power and what it does was really cool. Really cool to see. And for them, from their perspective, to see it. I kind of thought one of them was going to get out. I really did. I thought one of them was going to get out. But they're like, no, we're not letting any of Rogue One get out of here. Anyone who got through that barrier did not escape. No one escaped. And I like that, because it was a suicide mission. It really was. They sacrificed everything so that they could blow up the Death Star. And it gives a bit more weight to those plans. You know, it's not just something that Princess Leia gives to R2 now. It's got a lot more weight behind it. and I liked that. It was really good. So yeah, I didn't mind them all dying. I just kind of hoped Darth Vader was going to do it, but he still got his moment. Speaking of Darth Vader, the 2 scenes he gets, he got 2 scenes. One was, so when the original trailer came out, we saw this chamber with this big tank sort of thing in it. And we're like, oh man, who's that? You know, is it the Emperor? Is it Snoke? Like, are they going to reference, Force Awakens in this? We're like, no. Turns out, I'm pretty sure that planet was Mustafar, and that wouldn't put past Anakin for like, I'm gonna wallow in the place where I lost everything. Padme was here. You know, I imagine that's what was happening. But Mustafar, I think, was a good place. His like temple, he has this black temple there, and it was so cool to see. And yeah, so he's in the tank. He's in this Kolto tank, and obviously his body is severely damaged, and it's only machines keeping him alive, really. Oh, and his hatred. The Force and the hatred really linked together. And he sort of has this scene. I love the scene with him with the director. He was like, you could tell like the director kind of wanted to be cocky with him, but Darth just shut him down. Shut him down so fast. And yeah, I love the way they did the lighting with him. Like when he entered and you just got the shadow there, it was very cool. But the one thing I could tell is like I can tell James Earl Jones getting a little bit older now. His voice wasn't quite the same as the original Darth Vader. So even for a couple of years ago in episode 3, it's still not quite the same now. It's got that kind of age to it, which was interesting. But yeah, that scene was cool, you know, and he does the Force choke, you know, don't choke on your ambition, sort of thing. It was a bit of a cheesy line, but it was okay. It was okay. I don't mind it. And then obviously his big scene where he's literally ripping apart these soldiers in this hallway, just force pushing people to the ceiling and then freaking whipping his lightsaber around. It shows that Darth Vader was very powerful. Extremely powerful. And this sort of like pathetic little fight he has, because of it being the first movie and they didn't really want to put too much emphasis on this laser sword fight, I think they showed how, like, Darth Vader's really powerful. You guys don't understand how powerful he is. And I think they showed a glimpse of it. Not all of it, but just a glimpse. Like, he's literally like the Terminator. You can't stop him. And, yeah. It was a cool scene. I liked it a lot. So with director... Was it director Carton, whatever it is. I don't know. I just call him the director. He, for me, was like your typical officer or like Moff that just wants to be recognized for what he's doing. He's like, everything he does is like, how am I going to climb this rank, climb this ladder, and be in charge of more people, and to get noticed by the Emperor, and to get noticed by the... And he's just got such much... Everything that his ambition drives everything he does. Everything. And he comes into conflict with Tarkin. Because Tarkin is literally the position he wants. He wants to be in the Emperor's ear, or have the Emperor's ear, essentially. Be well respected. Basically take anything he wants. He wants Tarkin's job, essentially. His place in the Empire. And he comes into conflict with him. And it's kind of cool to see them. Because if you read the book, Catalyst, Rogue One Catalyst, it tells the story of Galen and... what's her name? Galen and... Lyra. Galen and Lyra. Sorry, I have a big thing about Lyra later that I'm going to talk to you guys about, because something that she does really bugs me. That tells the story of Galen and Lyra, but also tells the story of the director as well. and how he does come into conflict a lot with Tarkin. So for me, like, that was kind of a good back and forth, and I liked it a lot. But for me, like, the director was kind of like out of his depth type thing. You could tell he was like a lesser version of Tarkin. Like, he was constantly getting tripped up. He was constantly like, he had no vision outside of the Death Star. He was like, oh, the Death Star will take care of everything. He'll blow up everything. It couldn't possibly fail. He has no vision outside of that. And I think it's kind of like what Tarkin becomes, essentially. Tarkin gets enamored with this Death Star. Gets enamored with its power and thinks it's indestructible and can't possibly go down to the rebellion, because the rebellion's only got small ships. How could it possibly do anything? And they can't imagine it ever being destroyed. And he's that way. And it blinds him. And it's not until like he gets told these things and he's like and stuff happens that he's like, oh, so you're not really on our side. Oh, and he's like shocked at everything that happens, but he feels like he's in charge of everything. So I don't know. He was a good character. He was fun to watch. He was just a typical Imperial. He was what I expected from him. Tarkin himself, he had some small little scenes. The way they did Tarkin with the CG face and with Leia at the end too, it jarred me at the start. I was like, "Whoa, okay." Tarkin is there. His voice was fantastic. They did a good job. It jarred you a little bit. It was like, hang on. Because aliens get away with it better, I think, in CGI, because you can do it. But when you try and make a real human face, you can tell it's fake, but it's realistic enough to, like, jar you. It's like robots. You know how they're trying to make, like, android robots? And the more realistic they make them, the more jarring it is to people. It's like that. It's really like that. And it was weird to me. It jarred me a lot. But you get used to it. Like, the second time I watched it, I expected it, and it just didn't jar me as much in the end. I was like, oh, okay, it's Tarkin. It's cool. I like seeing Tarkin. I like that he's more involved. And, you can tell you can see how he doesn't believe in the Death Star. It's like, at the start, the Empire, like, the Death Star's this big joke. It's like, oh my god, we're putting all this resources into this thing that's just constant problems. And the director, he's constantly saying it's so good and it's going to be this amazing thing. They're like, we could have made tons of ships with this stuff. What are you doing? And Tarkin doesn't believe in it. But then once he sees its power, he's like, okay, I want the Death Star. It's mine now. And he literally just takes it over. He's like, no, yeah, I'll say that the Death Star is a fantastic piece of machinery, and his patience was, the Emperor's patience was well worth it, but it's mine now. So you can just scurry along, go find Galen, make sure he's not a traitor. It's mine now. You can't have it. And it freaks out the director, and I loved it. But you can tell he's just becomes enamored with this Death Star. The rebels themselves, the rebellion. This movie showed how fragmented and how kind of cowardly these rebels are. When you see the rebels in the old movies, right? They're always this band of people that have come together and they want to fight the Empire. And they seem to always have this one goal, and they're fighting, and they they're running and fighting, and they find their opportunities to attack. And it seems like they are all kind of together. But in this movie, you see they're not. They are not. One part doesn't know what the other part's doing. You know, you have Mon Mothma. Yeah, she's like, we need to, we're gonna rescue him, and then Bail Organa, which was cool to see Bail. I loved seeing Bail there because, for me, like Bail he's kind of a cool. I liked him in the originals, in the prequels. I mean, sorry. So seeing Bail there was very cool. And it kind of brought that connection between the old and the prequels. It connected the two together. And they were like, okay, we're going to rescue Galen. We're going to get him here. And then Bale's going to take him to the Senate. And they're going to tell the Senate what's going on. And this is going to bring all these people to the Alliance. And the Alliance is going to grow. And we're going to become this power that we can go up against the Empire. But then there's the General Draken, or something like that. And he's like, nah, just kill him. He's an Imperial weapons maker. We don't know what he's doing. Kill him. I'm like, hang on. He's like, nah, just kill him. And like, you see Cassian, like, the first thing you see Cassian do is kill an informant. He just kills him because he's inconvenient. He's like, oh, kill him. It shows some real heartlessness out of the rebels. And basically, the Alliance kills Galen. He kills the only person that knows the Death Star in and out. They just kill him. They blow him up. The rebels, like, it's meant to be this good. And, like, we're going to do things the right way. And we're not going to, like, they're like, no, we're just desperate. We're gonna kill anything that doesn't stand in our way. And like all the guys that are part of Rogue One that go to the planet, they're all assassins and saboteurs and all these secret force people that you never saw in the originals. You never thought about that stuff. You never thought about the spies and the assassins and all the rest of it. They're as heartless as the Empire in a way. And then when everything gets tough, like, half the people like, nah, we need to split up. We need to just surrender. Put your arms up. We're done. Like, but the rebels don't surrender. They don't fail. They just like retreat and then build back up and they'll attack when they can. No. So you can tell how destroying the first Death Star was like what rallied the rebels behind the cause in a way and brought them together again. But they're like, oh yeah, no, we're not believing you. We don't believe that this thing that destroyed an entire city that thousands of people have seen, that one scout ship could go and find and see, because it's still orbiting the planet. We could find it. It's the size of a moon. I think we can find it, but no. They're like, no, we don't believe you. We're gonna surrender. If they do have this power, we're surrendering. Just give up. Take all the stuff. Split the fleet up. We're done. It's like, you fucking cowards. But yeah, so it showed the rebels. It showed the rebels' true colors. It did. It showed the rebels' true colors, and it was insane to see. Galen and Lyra Urso. So, this is probably the biggest hang-up I have on this movie. I didn't mind what they did with all the other characters. I don't mind that they all died. I don't mind it at all. The start of the movie is its weakest point, I think. It jumps around too much. It goes to all these different planets, which is cool because you get to see all these cool places. But it jumps so much, and it's like boom, 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 and there's like flashbacks, and there's this and that, this and that, this and that. But then once they focus in on the mission, it gets a lot better. I just felt the pacing at the start for like the first 20 minutes is very boom, 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 like jumping around everywhere. But for me, Lyra Urso made the most stupid sacrifice I've ever seen in my life. So, they're caught, right? So, Kranix found them. Kranix found them, just comes into land, parks an extraordinary amount of distance away from the thing, but okay. Bigger entrance. And I guess it's kind of strategic, because you're like, we need to see what they're doing. We can't, like, just park in the front yard and then get blindsided here. They're caught, and Galen knows it. And they're like, okay, we got a plan. We got a bunker. Lyra and Jin are going to the bunker. I'll sacrifice myself. I'll get taken, but I'll know you guys are safe, and we'll deal with it later. And Saul will come and get you. Saul Guerrero will come, we'll get you, and then we'll figure it out after that. Okay. So they pick up all this stuff. Galen goes out to meet Kranich. And then Lyra and Jin go off to run and hide into this cave that's got a bunker and below it that's all protected and, camouflaged. But halfway there, Lyra goes, oh, here's a necklace. Believe in the Force, Jin. I'm going now. Go run in the cave. It's like, hang on. This is your daughter. Like, 5-6-year-old daughter. And you're like, go now. And she runs back with one pistol up against about 6 commando units. And just like, you'll never win. Gets killed, shoots Kranich in the shoulder, and that's it. Why? Why? You would be better off going into that bunker, waiting for Saw, be a mother to your daughter, and then once Saw gets there, because if you guys don't know, Lyra in Catalyst is referred to similar to like Lara Croft. She's very athletic, she's very adventure oriented, she's tough, she can shoot, she's got a lot of stuff going for her. And yes, she's kind of older, but still she is a pretty darn good fighter. And she just like sacrifices herself for no reason. Her daughter is safe. Galen, yes, will be taken, but he's going to get taken either way. Kranich's not going to like, oh, okay, so Lyra's dead. Your mind's not really there. Okay, we're just going to leave you now. Sorry for disturbing you. No, he's taking him. But she just comes back, doesn't hide, doesn't sneak around, try to take out anyone. Just literally runs up with a whole pile of stuff, drops it, pulls the pistol, and then like Kranich's like, just kill her. And then like, boom, and then she shoots him in the shoulder. Because she sort of falls back and shoots at the same time. And leaves her daughter parentless, so she's an orphan now, in the hands of Saul Guerrero, who's a known radical. I was like, why? You could just go in the hole with Jin, be a mother, and also go with Saw, and you and Saw could go and get Galen. You could break him out. Saw does this stuff all the time. But no. I was like, oh, why? It was the most pointless sacrifice in the entire movie. And of course, it does set up Jin. Like, it sets up Jin to be this lone wolf badass that doesn't really care about much. Who's well trained because Saw trains her. And it's like, but you could have done that in a way where like, Lyra and Saw try to get Galen out. Saw gets badly hurt. Tells everything about his legs and about why he's got this. And Lyra dies. That could do it. That could do it. And I was like, that would have been far better. At least she sacrificed herself for something. Not for nothing. She did it for nothing. She did absolutely nothing for it. Nothing changed. The only thing that changes is that Jin has no mother now. Has no parents. And gets put in a hole by herself. It was so stupid. It was such a stupid thing to do. Galen, on the other hand, Galen was... He was like, I knew he was gonna die. I knew he was gonna die. I knew he wasn't gonna be on the screen very much. He was more... I was sort of like... He's either gonna sacrifice himself But then when like the rebels gonna kill him, I was like, whoa, okay. Rebels are heartless. So yeah, I didn't mind Galen. Galen was fine. I always knew he wasn't gonna be the greatest thing, but he explains why the Death Star could be blown up by one fighter. It explains it. Like, everyone's always like, well, one ship, one lucky shot down a hole, and it blows up the entire thing. It explains it. It's sort of like his revenge. It was in from the ground up. He made sure that it was there and hidden. It makes more sense now. And I appreciate him for that. Saw Gerrera was a weird character. You can tell he's just been through so much shit that he's literally broken. He's broken. He's been fighting well before the Clone Wars. He fought all through the Clone Wars. He's been fighting ever since. He's broken. He is erratic. He just... he has no control anymore. And yeah. But yeah, overall the movie was just awesome. I loved it. I loved watching it, and I love watching it again. A few little hidden things. The one thing I picked up on the second viewing was when they're in the hangar, and the announcer's saying, he says, General Syndulla report to the control room. Syndulla. That means Hera Syndulla. She was the captain in Rebels, the animated series, which is really good right now. If you guys need to watch something Star Wars, go watch Rebels. It's really good. First season's a bit shit. Second season onwards gets a lot better. But yeah, Hera is still alive. Syndulla. So she's a general in the rebellion. You don't see her ever, but she's there. So that's really cool. I love that. So yeah, Hera, I don't know where's Kanan or where Ezra is. You know, they are Jedi, but maybe they get killed at some point. But yeah, so she's a general now, which is pretty cool. I loved all the Gold Wing, Red Wing leaders all being there. They took the footage from the original, put it in, and I think they got the original guys to say some lines. It was cool. It was cool. Even if they took it from lines from the old one. It was cool seeing them there. It made more sense. Tells you, and you also find out why there's no U-Wings. Two that they had are destroyed. They just got blown up. And Blue Wing doesn't exist anymore. I just love seeing all the old stuff doing the new things. It was so good. It was so cool to see. The Star Destroyers. When the Hammerhead comes in and just wedges itself into the Star Destroyer, I was like, oh, that's KOTOR. I remember the Hammerheads from KOTOR. They must be so old. Well, I loved it. And I mean, they are in Rebels too, the Hammerheads. Like, you see how they get them. That's cool. It was cool to see. And yeah, just to see the scale of everything was awesome. The visuals of the movie are really good. They do really well. Like, Force Awakens did it really well. So did this. They know what they're looking for now. They know how to create a scene with lighting or scale or imagery. It's really, really cool. Jeddah was amazing to see. With the temples and stuff. I want to hear more about Jeddah. I want to see what it was like before the Empire and everything. That would have been really cool to see. And yeah, just the planets itself were really cool. But yeah. So that's me rambling on for like, Jesus, over half an hour. The movie's great. Go watch it. It's got its hang-ups. It's got some problems, but every movie has it. It's definitely a standalone movie. You can't really compare it to any of the others. I think because the others have all got a big story behind it. It's got characters that are protected by plot. This is a sad story. It's sort of like losing the battle to win the war. But, you know, everyone dies. Everyone dies. And in the others, you can't have that because you need You'll have some people die, but the main characters generally will survive because they got plot armor and they'll be protected. But this one, they don't, and everyone dies. Even the bad guy. Bad guy gets vaporized by the Death Star laser. But yeah, it was very good. I get to see it another 2 times in the next 2 days, so I'm collecting the tins. The movie theater I'm going to's got metal tins, and you get a cup with it. There's 4 of them, so I'm going to be able to get all 4. More junk to put in my room, but yeah, it was really cool. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope some art maybe, tells you guys a little bit about why I'm thinking about the movie. Maybe it answers some questions you guys have. Maybe it gives you guys some questions. It's all good. This is just me getting it off my chest, really. The movie's awesome. Like I said in my other one, 8 out of 10. Easy must go and see. Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. I loved it. Is it better than Force Awakens? No. Force Awakens is better because it's got the main story. It has Han Solo, Chewbacca, Millennium Falcon, Princess Leia. There's more invested in Force Awakens than this one. This one just expands your knowledge and it gives more weight to episode 4. And it was really good. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check out, hit that subscribe button. Check out all the vids. Check the channel out. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. Overwatch stuff. Just put up the Winter Wonderland Overwatch event. We opened up a whole bunch of loot boxes. There's also the Brawl there, so go check that out. Some good views on that, so I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you to all this new subscribers too. There's been a few of you. Thank you very much. So yeah, hit that subscribe button. Join the group. Be awesome to have you here. Hit the like, dislike, comment. Leave it all there. Be awesome to see you guys doing that. Also, I'm a Twitch streamer, so check me out, twitch.tv/AverageKiwiGuy07. I haven't really been streaming this week because just of stuff going on. Plus, I'm going to all these movies and stuff, and it's my birthday this week, so there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So, plus Christmas stuff. You know how it is this time of year. We might do a birthday stream on Sunday, so I might try and organize something for that. I might get some drinks. We'll do a birthday stream, which would be pretty cool. So yeah, check me out on Twitch. Very much appreciate that. Click the follow button there. Become a Twitch Kiwi. It'd be awesome to have you guys showing up and being part of the chat. It'd be awesome to have you guys there. Also, check me out on Twitter and AverageKiwiGuy there. And check me out on Instagram, AverageKiwiGuy there as well. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys are having a good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. And I'll catch you next time. Peace. Bye.